Maeve awoke one day with a deep feeling of frustration. She felt hemmed in and chained down. She felt like she had no freedom to do as she wished or desired. The circumstances in her life left her with very few choices. She had a job she didn't like, but she had to do it to get the money. She'd been in a relationship which was going nowhere and was now over. Her family were a drain on her time, her patience and her resources. She felt chained to what she considered a terrible life. Her life was empty and without purpose. She looked at the steps which had brought her to this situation. She couldn't see how she would have made any different choices. The family she was born into dictated where she went to school and how she would be educated. From school she developed her friends, and her education decided what kind of a career she would enter. Most decisions in her life were logical steps from the previous position she'd been in. Her thoughts then rambled on to where she had received her ideas about life. She looked at her childhood religion and some of the paths she had studied and joined over the years. They all helped bring her to a certain point of her understanding of life, but they didn't give her the full story. There came a time when she reached the pinnacle of all the knowledge that she could find. She knew all there was to know from the books and the teachings, but she still wasn't content. She still had an emptiness deep within her. No matter where she went, this mysterious, unquenching desire was still there. There was no getting rid of it. Even after days of being drunk or on drugs, the emptiness was still within her. As she thought about her life, she looked at her whole physical existence. She was born, developed as a child, became a teenager, then an adult, and would mature in years until she grew old and died. What was this all about? What was the purpose of life? Were we born just so we could grow old and die? In frustration she cried out, "Oh God, is there no peace to be had in this world? What is it all about? Please show me how to make sense of this life. Please show me how to find peace." She collapsed, sobbing and lost in her own disappointment. She looked at some of the main events in her life. She had been through some tough times. There wasn't much that came easy. It seemed like she was struggling in the dark, trying to find her way through rocks and blockages. Then she heard a voice, or it could have been a thought. "Have you forgotten the flowers that bloomed from your lessons in life?" Her thoughts turned to the things she had gained from what she had learned in life. When she solved a problem, she saw the benefits not long afterwards. Her mother's illness helped bring them closer together. Her possessive boyfriend had taught her about standing up for herself and helped develop her personal strength. For each struggle she went through, there was a skill learned like a flower blooming. But she still felt chained to the life and cried, "Please tell me why I'm here." Have you not learned to love yet? Of course I have. I love my family and my friends. Is that not because you are expected to do that by society? Do you really love them? She had to think about that for a while. Some she said she loved, but she could just about put up with them. Some she did really care for and had a deep love for them. Now that she had received response from her plea for help, she began to ask more questions and listen for answers from this voice or intuition. She began to think of this guidance as her inner guide. She put her guide to a number of tests so she could verify that what she was being told was true. As time went by, she began to trust her guide more and more. She began to take this inner communication seriously. After all, she was receiving positive instructions on how to do things in her life. To maintain this channel of communication, she began contemplating on a regular basis. Each day she would spend time doing what she called her spiritual exercises. On a few occasions she felt like she was part of a mountain stream, with the water flowing over her and through her. She felt like she was part of the water, part of the stream. It was a beautiful experience. During her contemplations, she discovered that there are several parts within herself. Her emotions, her memories, her mind, her intuition, and her true self soul. But for most of her life, her mind has been the main driver. Its logical thinking, its opinions, its habits all drove the decisions she made. However, the guidance she was receiving came through her intuition. These messages were coming from her true self soul and her inner guide. When she returns to her physical world, she still has the storms of life to go through. She has to face life with its problems, challenges and difficulties, and get through them. Life is still difficult. With her regular spiritual exercises, she has been able to hear the inner guiding sounds and see the light. The guidance she receives is like a lighthouse in the stormy seas of life. With her connection to soul more open, she is able to live in the moment, in the now more often. She's been able to gain some deep insights. With the help of her inner guide, she's been able to venture to places she hadn't even dreamed of before. She's even been able to catch a glimpse of God. Maeve has discovered that life is all about love. The divine is love. We are a creation of the divine, so we must be loved too. And the way to freedom is through love and friendship. A love that doesn't impose rules or restrictions. A love that accepts each soul as they are with the right to be as they are. When she looks at things with the awareness that the divine has created life for us, her attitude changes. Maeve has broken the chains by changing her attitude to one of love. She no longer sees her job as a dead end, but a place to be of service to her company and her customers. She can see the lessons her ex-boyfriend taught her and how her family situation continues to build her strength, patience and grace. As her awareness of life deepens with her regular spiritual exercises, she gains a little more freedom every day. She is happier and more content with life. Her life may be difficult, but she does have love and a growing awareness of how that love helps her unlock her chains and release the secrets of life. Maeve is now a happier soul with the light of love unchaining her from the darkness, opening her heart and brightening her life.